Hi, I'm Larry Stevens, guest contributor here on HorizonHobby.com, and today we're going to talk about the new ParkZone Radian Pro. This is the exciting follow-up to the original Radian, and walking us through some of the new features today will be ParkZone's very own Matt Andren. Matt, one of the biggest differences I noticed right off, and I think anybody will notice right off with this plane, is the wing.
Yeah.
It's a brand new design.
Absolutely.
Now, I happen to have my Radian here, and just for the people who maybe aren't familiar with it, this has the big polyhedral wing without any ailerons or flaps. This one has ailerons and flaps, and it looks like a much flatter wing surface. Could you tell us a little bit about the differences in the flight characteristics that somebody like myself might experience with this plane?
So, you know, the original Radian is a very successful airplane for us. People just love the way it flies. It's just kind of that easy cruising airplane. But a lot of people wanted kind of that next soaring level from the Radian. So we figured, you know, start with that and let's see where we can take it. And we ended up with the Radian Pro with, you know, basically full 5-channel control with flaps and ailerons.
Excellent. The flight characteristics then, like for instance, I'm used to pretty kind of stable, like going to a turn, I can let off the sticks and it sort of just floats out on its own. I imagine this is a little bit different than that.
Correct, yeah. I mean, while this is still an excellent flying sailplane, it just requires a little bit more pilot attention. You know, you're flying the airplane a little bit more than versus letting the airplane kind of fly itself and you're just kind of poking it around the sky.
Sure.
So it's definitely a pilot's airplane. You got to be on the sticks, but that makes it more fun. You know, in my opinion, you know, you kind of go out there and really work to find the lift, and it's more of a challenge with this one because this one's just so easy to fly. You know, you just start circling out there and you're going up.
I've thought about bringing a lawn chair out with me sometimes and just sort of sitting back and letting it, yeah. I know on the Radian we had the carbon fiber spar.
Right.
What kind of reinforcement do you have in this wing?
Basically, the wings are similar in the fact that they're a two-piece wing with the carbon tube, but that's kind of where the similarity ends. We've actually added some fiberglass blade reinforcements underneath the wing to make it more stiff, because you know you have the control surfaces out here, produces some loads on the wing where the original one doesn't, so we stiffen that up. And then it's also a completely new wing mounting system that's unique to each airplane. So you can't swap wings from, you know, the old to the new or new to the old, but it makes it very secure. It's actually held in place. You can see it here with a little screw. So, you know, it makes the wing nice and secure. It's not coming off without you removing the screw.
You have to try.
Exactly.
In addition to the new wing, I think probably one of the biggest new features for this is the new Spectrum AR600 6-channel receiver.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you know, you'll have ailerons and flaps, so you're going to need more channels, but the 6 channels, wouldn't that open it up to some mixing possibilities?
Yeah, with this airplane you can do, you know, your traditional 5-channel airplane with just flaps, which flies it extremely well, but if you want to take it kind of that next soaring level, it allows you to do things like crow and camber and reflex, where you actually raise the trailing edge of the wing a few millimeters, or have the trailing edge go down a few millimeters to change the wing's airfoil for different lift conditions.
All right, so I'm relatively new to all that mixing. I mean, having just flown a 3-channel Radian, what would be the advantage of camber?
Camber is where basically the entire wing is angled, you know, the surfaces go down a few millimeters, and that just increases lift across the entire wing, allowing you to fly a little bit slower and do a little bit tighter turns for finding that core or center of the thermal.
So I wouldn't have to bank it as much, I could just kind of float in
and it slows it down so you're not doing as fast as turns, even though it's still a very slow airplane. With that, it makes it even slower and just allows you to keep it in one part of the sky very easily.
And what would reflex do for me?
Reflex is the opposite of camber, where basically the entire trailing edge of the wing goes up a few millimeters, and that allows you to penetrate from one part of the sky to the other, you know, from a downwind thermal to an upwind thermal without losing as much altitude.
Excellent. And then crow, you mentioned crow, that's like speed brakes, right?
Exactly. Basically the flaps go down and you raise both ailerons, which just puts more drag on the airplane, allows you to land in a smaller area.
Excellent. In addition to the new wing and the new receiver, you've also made some reinforcements to the fuselage.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. You know, because this is a higher performing sailplane than the original Radian, it was necessary to stiffen up the tail a little, and we actually added 2 fiberglass blade spars underneath each of these push rods, which makes the tail considerably more rigid than the original Radian. Just helps keep it flying a little bit more precise and everything, which you want because you have that controllability now.
Now, and because you have a different wing here, I assume this wing saddle is a little bit
Yeah.
different?
Yeah, the wing is completely different. There's a much more foam and a plastic piece in here that actually secures everything.
You're talking about this top part right here?
Exactly, exactly. Where the original one, you can look kind of right through the socket in the wing there. This one has basically a piece of foam and then the plastic piece in there that prevents you from using the old wing on the new airplane or the new wing on the old airplane.
Okay. Now the 2 completion levels, the original Radian was available in Ready to Fly with the DX5E.
Correct.
Mentioning, by the way, about the DX5E, if I have one of those Ready to Flies, I can fly
Absolutely.
this with
Absolutely.
the DX5E?
We include, basically out of the box, this has a Y harness on the ailerons and a Y harness on the flaps, allowing you to use the 5E transmitter, and then your flaps would just be on the gear channel, which is still a great way to experience this airplane. And for the original Radian guy, it's the perfect next step.
Okay. So we have bind and fly and plug and play with this one.
Correct.
So what do I get with the bind and fly?
Pretty much the bind and fly, you get everything but the transmitter. I mean, you get the airplane servos all installed, all that. You get battery, receiver, charger, pretty much, like I said, everything but the transmitter.
And the plug and play is just the servos and the power system?
Correct. The servos are pretty much the same complete airplane, but no battery, no charger, no receiver for those guys who may already have those components.
And the power system is the same power system that was in the original Radian?
Identical power system. Same motor, prop, battery, speed control, everything.
And the prop is the new reinforced prop that you guys have been adding to that? That's excellent. Well, it'd be great if I could actually get to fly it.
Yeah, let's go take it out.
All right, let's go. Oh, you can go now, Matt. I got it. I'll bring it back, honest. I noticed too, as you penetrate into the wind, it does seem to penetrate a little bit better than the regular Radian.
And I think a lot of that is just the extra weight that you are carrying, of the 4 extra servos. It gives you that little extra bit to push into the wind.
Right. Now see, that's something I'm going to have, as a original Radian pilot, I'm going to have to get used to using rudder.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe try the crow out, pop it. Yeah, you can see the wings flex there. Yeah, she wants to come down. Well, Matt, thank you very much. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you have any questions for us about any of the features that you've seen today on the ParkZone Radian Pro, go ahead and drop us a line at editors@horizonrc.com. And we'll see you again real soon.